Same question we just did, example 3. I'm going to show you another way to do it. Am I recording? Yeah. I'm going to show you another way to do it. The only problem with this way is sometimes students get confused. So, distributive properties, some of you thought that would be the first step to do. You can use distributive property first, but when you go to distribute this -2, you can only distribute it to one set of brackets. If you were to distribute it to 2 sets of brackets, you'll end up with the wrong answer. Okay? So I'm going to distribute the -2 to just the first set of brackets right beside it. Okay? What's going to happen there is I'm going to have -8x, I'm going to have +10. Okay? Once I've done that, I can use FOIL. Okay? Now, FOIL, some of you got a little confused. I'm going to show you another way to describe FOIL. Okay? Another way to describe FOIL is think of it like this. I'm taking the first term in the left bracket and I multiply it by both terms in the other bracket. Once I've done that, I take the second term in the first bracket and multiply it by both terms in the other bracket. Okay? Essentially what I'm doing is FOIL, but FOIL is an acronym that was developed to help explain it to you, to give you something to remember it by. So, I distributed the 2 first, okay? And remember, I only distributed to one of the brackets. Now, here's how this plays into FOIL. My -8x, my first arrow, if you show, I'm going to actually undo those arrows for a second, just to show you how it looks like again. So, the first term, -8x, I multiply by the first one there. Well, it turns out that's the first term in the other bracket. I've just multiplied the 2 first terms. That's the idea. So -8x times 7x is -56x. Okay? Now I take my -8x and multiply it by -6. Well, if you take a look at that, that's the outside terms. They've given it a name. Okay? -8x times -6 is +48x. Okay? Now that I've done the -8x by both terms in the other bracket, I'm going to deal with 10. I multiply the 10 by the first term. Turns out that's the inside numbers. 10 times 7x, 70x. And finally, I do my 10 times -6. Well, it turns out those are the last terms also. I end up with -60. When I go to simplify this, -56x. 48x plus 70x is 118x minus 60. So if you guys take a look what I just did. Oh, sorry. Thank you. -8x times 7x is squared at the end. Very important. Otherwise, I would have been combining the other terms. So, another way to solve that first question, guys, is I could have distributed the -2 to one of them. I could have technically distributed the -2 to the other bracket, okay, and FOIL the other way, but as long as I only distribute it to one. The reason I did it the other way is just you don't get into that confusion with distributive property, okay?